Hi, I'm Marilyn Tate, and this is my analysis of the parental apathy case study, Standard 7. So, Category 1, problem identification and analysis. What do I know? I know that Mrs. Rose is a new assistant principal. She's been on the job for 4 months. She just completed her admin program, so this is her very first administration job. There is little to no parental or community involvement with this school. No PTA or PTO, although there have been parent type groups in the past. The principal, though, does not see this lack of involvement as a problem. The principal's past experience with trying to get parents to be involved has kind of created his own apathy, I feel like. The principal asserted that he was in direct contact with the community. He also said that he sensed that people did not want to be involved based on several phone calls and comments from parent conferences. He did not really want to have a meeting, but when it was readdressed, they decided they would schedule a meeting. It said that the invitation was sent home for scheduling the meeting for the following Monday. Now, only 8 parents showed up at that meeting, and when that happened, the principal wanted to go ahead and cancel the meeting. So, what do I need to know? I need to know school demographics. It's really important, the location and the size of the school. I want to know, when was the last time the principal actually met with parents, that there was a parent meeting at all, an open meeting. Now, since the principal asserted that he was in direct contact with the community, I want to know specifics about that. Who and when, who did he talk with, and when did he talk with them, and then how? Was it on the phone? Was it in person? In what manner did that occur? Was it just in passing? Also, I want to know what made the principal sense that people didn't want to be involved. What did they say in these phone calls or parent comments at parent meetings, parent conferences? What exactly did they say that made him sense they didn't want to be involved? I also want to know, why were past parent groups ended? Why did that stop happening? It's also very important to look at the diversity. Is there more than one language spoken at this school? I need to know that. And then if there is, did they send home the notices in those translated languages? And then how many days in advance was it sent home? It said the meeting would be the following Monday, but did they send it home on Friday? Did they send it home the Tuesday before? I don't know that, so that's important as well. Now, identifying the problem, there is a lack of parental involvement, and that is a problem. That's the big problem. Past failures at attempts to attract parental volunteers. That's happened, but I think it's also a problem that there's no evidence that the principal has made any kind of continued effort to seek out community and parental involvement. I don't think there's been enough effort in creating a reason for parents to want to attend a scheduled meeting or any events that they might have. And the principal seems to have given up, honestly, to me. And I think possibly he may not want to have parents involved. He may think that makes things more difficult. And no one's been dedicated to just changing the status quo. They've just been going with it the way it is. No involvement and just not trying anything better. Now, Category 2, a plan of action. I think that they first need to have the meeting. That's the very first thing they can do. And get the opinions. Talk to the parents who did attend. See what they think. See what they think about what's going on in the school. See what they think about why no one came to this meeting. Now, then they should encourage partnerships, with those parents, and encourage those parents to go out and tell other people, hey, we went to this meeting. It was really good. They wanted to talk to us. They want to know what they can do to help us and how we could, they want us to help them, help us. I think they should identify community partners and maybe even some donors. And then what they need to start doing is purposely seeking out parent community input, whether it's through personal visits, making phone calls, not auto dialer, but personal phone calls, and even sending out surveys is a good way to start. They've got to make the parents feel like they're important and that their kids are important, and make the community feel like they're important, like you want their opinion, you want them involved. I think they need to plan the meetings with what I'd call attendance enhancers, such as free food. That's going to get people in the door lots of times. Student performances, where you have people's kids up performing, doing something, presenting something. They're going to come and they're going to want to see their own child perform, so that's a way to get them there. Also, giveaways, which things like raffles or something like that, and where if you get some community partners and donors, they can hopefully help with things like that. I think that you could bring in some parents, administrators, students from other schools that are successful, that have successful PTAs and PTOs, um, to show, give an example, provide, an example of how the parental involvement really does help, how it helps these kids. Maybe even get kids from these schools that have graduated and gone on to college to further success in life. I think that would be a really great way to make them see how important it is. During this day and age, you need to have a social media presence, whether it's on Facebook or something like that. Utilize the school website that I'm sure they most likely have. Most districts do at this point. Utilize that as well for announcements and things. Um, I think also create a monthly newsletter, kind of do some more traditional methods, not just all technology, because there are some people that don't look at Facebook and don't look at websites to find out their information. And even if they do, I think having that piece of paper come home with the student is just extra, kind of reinforcement of what's going on and announcements and things like that. It's also really important to identify any translation needs. Okay, what languages do you have in the school? Send him those flyers in different languages. Put it on Facebook in different languages on the website. Because if people can't understand what you're sending home, they're not going to show up for a meeting that you sent an announcement home for. And then give plenty of advance notice. Don't just send something home 2 or 3 days in advance. Some of these parents may have jobs where they can't get off that, and they may work evenings. They can't get off 2 days ahead of time. I think also maybe provide more than one meeting, and even make it possible where you stream the meeting or you record it for them to watch later. But give them multiple opportunities to attend or take part in the meeting. So category 3, resolve the issues based on promoting student success of all students. And so we want to do what's best for students, which we've got to do everything possible to get parents involved, because that is one of the most important things for our kids, honestly, for their success in school. We want to get the students involved. And I think where we start, instead of just saying this is just for parents, it's for students and parents. Get them at the school at the same time. Get them there together talking and listening to what you're talking about is really important for our kids. Relate to your group demographics, whether you have a lot of Hispanic students, Vietnamese students. Look at what your languages are. Look at what their culture. Maybe something's going on if with their specific demographic group. It's that's important to their group that they can't come to a meeting for a time that you scheduled it. Look at things like that and show respect for these cultures as well, because that's going to help the parents know that you actually care about their child and what's going on with them. I think you should provide multiple and flexible opportunities for parents and students to take part in these meetings and activities, as well as providing multiple opportunities for them to give suggestions and opinions and ideas. I think it's really important to encourage involvement, where this principal seems to have discouraged it. Now, what was I thinking, feeling, and valuing? Well, while reading this case study, honestly, the first thing was just that I feel like this principal does not want anybody, outsiders, community members, family members, involved in school functions and decisions. He doesn't want people coming in and rocking the boat. He didn't want to have to deal with it, probably. The fact that the principal said he wouldn't approve of PTA or PTO kind of supports that thought to me. I wondered, how long has he been a principal at all, and then at this school, to where he's just really, to me, he's come across as apathetic. Maybe he's been a principal too long. I felt that his assessment that everything was fine in the school kind of is in direct opposition with the fact that he acknowledged that there's parental apathy. So how do you say everything's fine? Um, and just basing an entire group of parents' opinions or thoughts and feelings and the community's feelings on just several phone calls and some comments from parent conferences seems really irresponsible to me. I did value, though, that Mrs. Rose was determined to go ahead and, even though he discouraged her, get a meeting together and got that going. So hopefully she'll be successful in that. So category 5, reflection. For component 1, I think increasing parental involvement has a direct effect on student success in school. Where I talked about providing information on school events and academic requirements through multiple technological and traditional methods allows more opportunity for these parents to get involved. Bringing in, also where I talked about bringing in administrators, parents, and students from other schools, successful schools, is going to really encourage, I think, involvement. The parents are going to see, wow, look at what they've done, and where they're involved with their students, with their children's academic career and how it's helped them. It's going to just want to make them get involved, make them want to get involved. Component 2. In order to promote the personal well-being of every student, I think those students and their families have to be included in school functions, that involve them. And so addressing their diversity will show respect for that, I think, is one way. Also, I think introducing them again to the successful schools and their students is another way to provide them with positive role models and encourages them to stay focused on academic and personal success. Component 3. I think it's really, one of the most important jobs of a school administrator is to seek out positive relationships with the students, the parents, and the community members. It's an administrator's job to make parents and students feel valued and make parents feel that their children are valued. So making the effort to not only have parent meetings, but making sure that the parents know about them, sending out the flyers with enough time, providing translation for those things is a way for you to show that you do have concern, for the parents and their children. I think where we could provide food and other items, kind of shows that we value their time as well. And using multiple methods of contact to let them know what's going on and provide them the information about what we're going to be doing and meetings that we're going to be having. It's just with not only parents but with community members. It's also just part of promoting that culture of purposeful engagement with these stakeholders. So that is my analysis of the parental involvement case study. I hope you liked it, and it's been a great semester, and I can't believe this one's done. Thanks. Bye.